Peter, final match of the regular season this Saturday against Rotherham Titans. I'm guessing you'll be looking for a much improved performance from the one against Yorkshire Carnegie last week.
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't take a rocket scientist perhaps to work that out. Taking a pasting away at Leeds last week wasn't the greatest preparation for us moving forward, but there were a number of factors toward that. It was a scratch team we put out. We rested up a majority of our first choice team, and they're back this week against Rotherham. So I think in every negative result there are positives to be taken out of it, and certainly some of the individual performances were good. Aspects of the game actually were very, very good, but there were obviously too many that weren't. But if we can just multiply on the good bits, we'll be in good shape. And there was actually some really good individual performances in there for guys coming back from injury or suspension, that's put those individuals in a good spot moving forward. Everyone's been working here for 10.5 months now, and the first team has been relatively consistent over the last few months, and some of those guys that haven't necessarily had a shot but have been working hard in training and helping out the first team in terms of performance. We only thought it was right that they get an opportunity to put their hands up for selection for the playoffs, and some of them have taken that brilliantly, others not, but some of them did well at the weekend despite the result. And it was important, even at this time of the season, that there is competition for places, because that's a very healthy thing in a rugby team. So despite again the negativities, it also gave a couple of those regular starters that have played a lot of rugby a weekend off, because coming into the end of the season, they've already put a lot of miles in the legs, and just to have one less game, and now we can really focus on the next few weekends with a little bit of freshness and optimism.
Rotherham are going well, 5 wins in their past 6 outings. They pretty much secured 4th place, so they're into the playoffs once again. It's going to be a stern test.
Yeah, absolutely. We the way the fixtures have worked out, we played them first, we played them last. So we can't remember the last time we played them in terms of the form. A lot of things have changed since then. Certainly, personnel in our team has turned around quite a lot, but we've been following their progress as we have Nottingham over the last few weeks, because of the direct relation in the league, and they've been picking up win after win after win, and scoring lots and lots of points, which is, I suppose, always a trait of Rotherham over the last couple of years. Really free scoring team, and back at the beginning of the year when the sun was out, they were racking up 40-50 points regularly. So they're a big challenge, and probably over the moon. They beat Nottingham last week. That was a tough game for them, but to win away from home and relatively safe. If 1 plays 2 this weekend and 3 plays 4, and there's 2 big games with playoffs on the horizon, certainly.
Rotherham has certainly timed their form to perfection. Lee Blackett, he's off to Wasps next year. He's done a terrific job at Rotherham. Yeah,
absolutely. Super job, and well rewarded with a top job. Wasps, what an exciting club to go to at the moment. Really heading in an upward spiral with a big stand and a big stadium, should I say, big stand, and fantastic players. I'm sure he'll do well there, and credit to him. And it's great for Championship coaches to see fellow compatriots going into the Premiership. Always good to see. So I wish him well with that. But on Saturday I'm supposed both out for the same thing, which is a win away from home. So it'd be a tough game. They're a free running team with a great set of backs. They tend to always do well either end of the season, perhaps through the winter months. Their forward packs might struggle a bit, and that's where they sort of came a little bit unstuck this season against some of the heavier packs, the likes of Plymouth, etc. But with the ground hard and the sun out, I'm sure they'll back themselves every time.
In terms of team selection, a lot of the big hitters are back this weekend. Also, James Chisholm, he's starting. He impressed off the bench last week, and PG Gidlow gets another shot at centre.
Well, yeah, so, mentioned there before about some of the individuals. James Chisholm, he's been off the bench in the last 3 games and been brilliant. So he gets a chance to start. We've got some unbelievable firepower in our back row at the moment. The guys left out, as we said on a number of occasions, the guy's not even in the matchday squad. There's some quality, the likes of Gregor Gill-Anders and Lewis Ludlow didn't even make the squad this week. But James has been outstanding off the bench, a real impact. So hopefully he brings that impact from the start this week. alongside Brighty and Chris Walker in the back row. It looks like a really dynamic back row, so excited to see how they go. And the other plus points, PJ and Dan Newton both went really well last week. PJ was sticking tackles. He really brought us a physical edge last week. Perhaps those around him, we might have missed a few tackles, but he was very good, very strong. And Danny Newton coming back in at 10 allows Pete Lyden to drop back to fullback where he's more familiar, so has a more familiar look to it. And I say PJ in the midfield gives us a hard tackling edge and some go forward. So I like the look of the back line this week.
Kieran Moffat in the wing?
Yeah, mix it up. Miles has played a lot of rugby again, and Kieran's equally adept on the wing. Had to play most of the game there last week against Leeds and showed some really nice touches. So Matt Williams back on one wing to give us out and out gas on the right, and Kieran brings probably more footballing ability on the left wing. But two exciting wingers alongside Matty Hawke, who had the weekend off last week, comes back into the midfield. So relatively fresh back line. Jamie Stevenson as well, having had a week off. Fresh back line and ready to go.
The playoffs will creep up on us. It's just less than a week, or just over a week, should I say, until the playoffs. Do you sense some excitement in the camp building?
Yeah, absolutely. It's annoying not to know who we're playing. I think because then you can put a focus on it and know exactly who your enemy's going to be. But we're not going to know that until the bus trip back on Saturday. But either way, we've played Bristol 4 times this year, and we've played Worcester a couple of weeks ago. So we're pretty familiar with both teams, as they will be relatively familiar for the same reasons with us. So whoever it is, they're going to be incredibly tough challenges for us. But you know what, for now I'm just interested in going to Rotherham and winning the game.
And just finally, the Supporters Player of the Year nominees were announced this week. So there's 5 contenders. You got Mark Bright, who seems to be there every season, Matt Williams, James Hallam, Peter Lyden and James Phillips. All three.
Well remembered.
Thank you. And all 4 of them arrived last summer. So they've all done really well this season.
Brighty's been here for longer than that, surely.
4 of them arrived last summer.
5 worthy candidates there, I think, across the board. I'm sure a couple of the other boys will argue they should have been in there, but probably the 5 most consistent contenders or performers for us over the year, and rightly nominated. We got some rock star in there with Brighty with 24 tries. Matt Williams is also topping the try charts and been brilliant. And then you've got some workhorses up front with Hallam and Phillips, who've been brilliantly consistent, and obviously Pete Lyden with his point scoring has been crucial for us. So 5 really worthy contenders, and I wouldn't want to be the one judging.
And all 5 of them are playing this weekend, and also all 5 of them are re-signed for next year, which is a great boost.
Well, that's convenient. Yeah, that's good. I'd expect probably if Max Maidment would have been fit, probably be added to that list as well in terms of consistent performance for us. But yeah, that's great moving forward. We've got best performers staying. It probably helps the fact that they have contracts for next year that probably adds to their performances week in, week out. But great to know that that we've got that quality come pre-season and for the season beyond.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.